Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Max Keller alongside Nate Stein. We're back for this edition of Ensworth Live's broadcast of your Ensworth Tigers facing the Father Ryan Fighting Irish, not Notre Dame.
No, not Notre
facing
Dame.
Notre Dame today.
Different Fighting Irish.
Different Fighting Irish.
Still fighting, still Irish,
Yep.
different guys.
Just different guys.
Yeah.
We got a good one, like I said. Ensworth coming in at 5-9 after a huge series win against NBA that ended with a walk-off hit by Kenny Mckinley to come back 3 runs, down 3-0. Scored all 4 in the bottom of the last inning.
Yeah, it's a huge game for the Tigers. It's a momentum swing that they desperately needed. They were 0 for 3 in their last 3 home games worse than that, 0 for 5. In their last 5 home games.
They were.
Just looking for that first one, looking for some way to break through, and going into the bottom of the 7th, trailing 3-0. It didn't look good, but the freshmen, the young kids, picking up this team, it was Conor Cobb and Spencer Yu.
Yeah.
So two 9th graders just really picking up the slack and getting hits in huge areas before eventually finishing off was Kenny Mckinley, the junior, so the upperclassman swooping in for the glory, but it was a great game. We'll see if the Tigers can keep that momentum swinging here back at home.
Well, Titus Woodson will be on the mound for your Tigers, and this first pitch is high and outside. At the plate is Porter for the Irish. In the field for the Tigers, you have Titus Woodson, Andrew Yu at catcher, Bramer at first, Bushman at second, Conor Cobb at short, Carson Cobb at third, Kenny Mckinley in left field, Devin Obie in center field, and you have Mason Jablonski. Mason Jablonski is going to be at third, and Conor Cobb is going to be in right today. Mason Jablonski came in a relief effort at the end of the NBA game and had 2 really good innings to kind of hold the score where it is, and you have to assume based on that he's about ready to come back to his starting role as Woodson falls behind 3-1 here to Porter.
Yeah, he faced 7 batters in that relief effort and took out all 7 of them. So 7 up, 7 down. It's a great way to come in and come back from injury and feel good as Woodson's able to induce a ground out there for the first one. It's a clean start. Second mistake I made. Conor Cobb is at short. Carson's in right field, as Conor will stay at his natural position at shortstop. If you can't see that there on the screen, with a beautiful scoop there on an awkward bounce where he threw over to first and got the out. And a huge confidence boost for Woodson picking up the first out of the game. And now we'll face – you got something for me, Nate, here? Gowan? Yeah, the second baseman, Gauguin. Stepping in, and it'll be behind in the count right off the bat. Strike 1 from Woodson, who's got about a 50% hit or miss on that first pitch, whether it be a strike or not, pretty even. And as those of you who have joined us multiple times this season, you know Max and I love that first pitch strike percentage stat and what it really means for a pitcher.
I would rather have a pitcher throw 100% first pitch strikes and allow 2 home runs a game than throw 25% first pitch strikes and allow a lot of hits in that game and a lot of walks. And it just, to me, it keeps your pitch count low. And for some reason here at Ensworth, we've been able to see a lot of full game starts from the opposing pitchers. Kind of something you don't see.
Not necessarily from our guys. Yeah. It's always the visitors. Listen, this is a beautiful field. I'm sure it's easy for a pitcher to feel comfortable in a field as well put together as this. So maybe that works against the Tigers sometimes. And Derek will be hitting third for the Irish here. Falls behind 1-0. And Woodson trying to win this lefty on righty matchup. And this one is a routine fly ball to left field. And Mckinley will send the Tigers back to their dugout for what was a pretty quick inning of work for Woodson. 3 up, 3 down. Woodson only had to throw 10 pitches. That's a pretty beautiful start for the Tigers. We've seen them get into a little bit of trouble early on in a few of these home games. So a clean inning, and not just one where they don't allow any runs, but a true clean 3 up, 3 down inning has to be a big confidence boost to Woodson and the rest of this pitching staff.
Yes, and on the mound for Father Ryan coming in is Shorey, number 14, who will have a designated hitter for him when Father Ryan comes back up to bat. Number 14 on the mound. We'll see what his velocity is looking like, as Ensworth has had some trouble at the plate this year. Really struggling to score runs early and struggling to win games at all. But even the games they won kind of took a little bit to get going. I mean, that last game on Thursday scored all 4 of their runs in the very last inning. So what would it be like for the Tigers to have 10 hits going into the 4th or 5th inning and kind of a 5 or more runs, you know?
Well, obviously, anytime you jump out to a big leader can get that many hits in a game, you're feeling pretty dang good about yourselves.
Right.
You look up and down this roster, as Max, you and I do before each game, you look at some of the statistics. You got guys who are just uber talented baseball players, and the numbers just don't line up right just quite yet. And obviously, the biggest example of that is Devin Obie, the Duke commit, who's just batting 240 on the season. That's a number for a prospect of his caliber that you expect to see up above 400 at the high school level. It doesn't matter the type of competition you're facing. It doesn't matter what kind of season you're playing, how much you're playing. A player that is as good as Devin Obie is should be hitting well over the 240 average that he's sitting at. He's looked better as of late. We saw a couple games where he was just looking absolutely lost at the plate, striking out a bunch, not really putting a charge into a ball. But we've seen him actually make contact and put balls in play a little bit more. That batting average should follow on that same trend line.
And he likes to swing at first pitches, but that one, as I just said, that went down the middle, and he took at it. Maybe a change in routine for maybe a change in results there.
We'll see what his approach is, see if he has adjusted anything.
And this pitch will be fouled hard to the right side, and so already down 0-2.
I like that he's trying to take it opposite field, though, keeping his hands inside, trying to work the other way. That's a great way to get out of a slump. You can ask any high-level hitter, and they'll say, don't think too much. Just try to throw it out there.
Yeah, and being able to hit into an 0-2 count is also crucial for somebody wanting to gain their confidence. If you can get a hit working back from 0-2 or even at 0-2, well, now he's at 1-2, it kind of gives yourself the confidence that you can do it in a good hitter's count or a bad hitter's count as he strikes out there.
So more of the same for Obie as he goes down swinging. And that'll bring up
to bat, number 8,
Andrew Yu, the senior catcher, also committed to go to Duke next year. Those first two in the lineup for the Tigers ACC bats.
We'll see if you can fare better than Obie.
Yu batting .333 on the season. But pretty solid as he lifts this one to center field. Should be a fairly straightforward play for Hinson. There's a little bit of overlap there, right center field. Hinson makes the catch.
Up to bat, number 5, Kenny McKinley.
McKinley now the hero from last Thursday's game. Walk-off city. McKinley putting a ball into left center field to bring home 2 runs and cap that spectacular comeback.
Well, you know he's got to be feeling like a superstar after that one, and we'll see how the results look moving forward the rest of the season after a play like that. See if he can get the bats rolling. 2 straight outs for the Tigers, and it's been a pretty good start on the mound for Shorey, throwing a lot of strikes. This one is hit on the ground by McKinley, hard to short, and
he's gonna be safe. Foot came off the bag.
That throw will pull him off the bag. That was very close. Up to bat, number 10.
McKinley will be given a hit on that one, an infield single, as it was a bang-bang play. And able to just beat out the throw. You don't see that often, beating out a throw on a hard hit ball to the shortstop like that.
Yeah, and from our angle, it was the right foot that came off the bag, so we had no chance of really seeing how much that did come off or not. But it will lead to a 2-out base runner for the Tigers, and kind of maybe cause a little bit of discomfort for Shorey on the mound.
We'll get to see Shorey out of the stretch for the first time, see what he does, and that lefty staring straight at first base as he kind of flinches to throw over on McKinley. He's definitely thinking about the runner there, even with 2 down.
So Bramer awaits the pitch here. Long wait. And Shorey steps off. Was looking again over at first.
Yeah, just staring down McKinley over at first base. As a lefty, he is just looking at him the whole time, but you got to be able to focus up, as Shorey did there, to get ahead in the count 0-2.
Yeah, and that pitch came in so quick, unbelievably quick after the first 2 times that Shorey took forever to look over to first. I don't know if Bramer was ready for that. I wasn't ready for it up in the booth.
It was quick.
And this pitch is high, and McKinley's going to run, and he's going to be out by a mile. What a throw from Derek, who hit the strike zone of the glove.
Hose. And a little bit of a favor for Dax Bramer there from his teammate Kenny McKinley, because now Bramer's going to be able to go back to a clean count after being in an 0-2 hole. I guess a 1-2 hole after that last pitch outside. But Bramer getting a gift.
Well, at the end of 1, it's still 0-0, and Ensworth unable to do much. We'll see if the bats can get rolling next inning. We'll take a quick break, and Titus Woodson will be on the mound when we get back.
Welcome back to Ensworth Live. Nate Stein alongside Max Keller. Heading into the top of the second inning and what's shaping up to possibly be a pitcher's duel so far. Titus Woodson makes his way back out onto the mound, and it'll be the right fielder, McNeil, to get things started for the Fightin' Irish. 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first from Woodson as first pitch misses up high for ball 1.
So Woodson pitches a ball possibly due to my overlapping music while he pitched. Didn't get to the computer fast enough, so an added distraction for Woodson. But he's right back, 1-1 count. And you know what? It had just as much effect on McNeil behind the plate.
There you go.
This pitch in the dirt and bounces. Nobody on base, nobody to advance. That's been pretty frequent in Ensworth games, runners advancing on wild pitches and throwovers.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of necessarily spectacular stops on wild pitches. I don't know if it's just signs getting crossed or what it is, but it does seem like the pitchers are a little bit more wild, and catchers from any team that have been here have struggled a little bit to keep up.
And so Woodson looking to eat up innings here. This pitch will tail to the right, and as Nate and I have learned, well, first off, Carson Cobb's going to have to go over the fence acrobatically to get his glove, and then we'll have to come back onto the field to get into right. Olympic-level score there. I'm not sure he landed the dive, though, Carson. I might have to take off 2 points for that. But overall, fairly good.
Yeah, I'm giving him a 6.5. Uninspired effort.
Wow, that is brutal. But nothing lands in that right field here at Ensworth with the wind, as this one will find the gap in between short and third for a hit. McNeil will stay on first, and Hinson, the 5-hitter, will come up with a runner on first and nobody out. But yeah, no hits really go into that area unless you drive it there. Anything in the air seems to really tail off.
Yeah, and it feels like that's due to just a natural wind that comes left to right on this field. It seems like it's always kind of coming in from that left field corner towards all of the buildings that are off to our right side from the broadcast booth back behind home plate.
And Hinson tries to lay down a bunt to advance McNeil as this one's foul, and Jablonski. Feel like this might be the first time that I've seen Ensworth really go into bunt formation. They seem to like to let it out, to ride out a little bit more.
Yeah, they've trusted the pitcher and you behind the plate to essentially take control of those. We've seen a couple good plays where the pitchers have even had the presence of mind to looking to get the lead runner. We've seen them get them at third and second over the past couple weeks. So it's a level of trust that Coach Maxwell has for his pitchers fielding, and obviously Jablonski taking charge here
Yeah. And maybe after enough of kind of standing back, maybe just the stats determine that the left side seems to be pretty vulnerable right now. And obviously that's the farther throw to first, but maybe they've had some struggles on that. I can't necessarily recall directly off the top of my head. But we have an 0-2 count here. Woodson will check on the runner at first. And when he goes back to the plate, we'll try to punch out Hinson or get one on the ground. And so Woodson delivers. This pitch is fouled back. Staying defensive is Hinson.
Woodson's pitch count starting to move up a little bit. 10 pitches this inning, or this half inning, after getting through the first 3 batters in just 10 pitches. So a couple long ABs as this one gets away from you.
And no need for the bunt at this point as McNeil is able to advance to second. And now runners in scoring position for Father Ryan. New team, new character trait when it comes to runners in scoring position. We've seen 2 teams who did really well with runners in scoring position in NBA and JP2 the week before that. We'll see what Father Ryan possesses behind the plate and how Ensworth's bullpen can kind of adapt to that. This pitch is reached for way up and out of the zone. As you heard the hitting coach for Father Ryan the last at-bat say not everything is a strike, and another one where you're reaching the bat up to an awkward spot. Lucky to be foul.
Yeah, it looked about chin level and well outside the zone. Good job by Hinson to stay alive, but definitely one that he needs to lay off of next time.
So Woodson looking back for the runner at second, and he will go to the plate here, and this ball will be hit to third, and the throw over from Jablonski will be beautifully made, and he does a good job also to hold McNeil at second. So now rolling the DH for Shorey on the mound will be up to bat. And this time we got a lefty-lefty matchup in the box. With
just the best case scenario for Woodson and the Tigers and worst case scenario for Hinson and Father Ryan. Anything to the right side will advance McNeil, but Hinson just puts it right on Jablonski. Too hard hit for him to even get out of the base path. Hinson never had a chance, or pardon me, McNeil never had a chance to even think about moving over. Good strong throw from Jablonski, and he got back in a hurry to cover back at third as well, just in case McNeil was thinking about trying to get sneaky.
And Rolling got a good piece of that, but way early, way foul in the lefty side this time. And they really like Father Ryan really going for the high pitches today, and Woodson just is going to keep throwing them until they can put him fair. And this one put on the ground, and this will advance the runner, but Bushman will get the easy second out of the inning. So a little bit of a pressure situation for Woodson, although his pitch count has been good after retiring the first batter, which took a decent amount of time. But now at 2 outs, and he can get out of this inning with saving a run and saving his arm. Back to a lefty-righty matchup, and this will bring up Brown, the left fielder for Father Ryan.
14 pitches so far this inning, so not too bad for Woodson, as I'm not quite sure where that missed. That looked like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, I thought that, and Andrew is going to ask behind the plate for the rundown of that one. So now 2 outs, runner on third. This pitch also outside is Woodson doing a good job of keeping it up after a couple pitches in the dirt got by you, one only with a runner on base. That pitch high. So 3 straight balls for Brown, and this is a situation where later in the lineup feels like you need to attack the plate.
Definitely want to take advantage here. You don't want to risk getting into the top of the order.
And 4 pitches is all it will take for Woodson to walk Brown and bring up Emerson, the center fielder. No, excuse me. I'm looking at what order. He's the
third baseman or first
baseman. Yep, hitting 8th, which means that Brown was not the left fielder. He was the third baseman. So
Correct.
Father Ryan parents, apologies for that one. We'll see what happens here with Emerson at the plate with hot corners.
Woodson just missing up high. I think he's a little scared of bouncing one in and letting that run up.
Yeah, he's got to get back to trusting Andrew behind the plate, who probably won't make that mistake very often at all. He's really solid back there, and so I think finding the strike zone here by any means will be helpful for Woodson. This pitch high and outside. Woodson's got to find the zone again. It's been a little bit since he's visited there.
Yeah, 6 straight balls.
With 2 out, Father Ryan does have an opportunity here in a 0-0 ball game in the top of the second. Woodson delivers. Good pitch down and hit that bottom left corner.
Got to feel good to finally get back into the strike zone. We'll see if he can build on it here as Emerson looks over and gets a sign from the third base coach. Probably
got told by the coach, you're good to swing now after Woodson threw a strike. Another tough one. That one just outside, 3-1. Pitch much closer than the other ones that Woodson threw earlier in the at-bat. And this one down the middle for strike 2.
Emerson yet to take the bat off his shoulder here. We'll see if he's just searching for ball 4 without doing any work, or if he's actually paying attention. We'll see what Woodson can give him something.
Yeah, this is a huge pitch for Woodson and the Tigers to not fall behind here. And this one is
foul.
Plunked out to right, and again, nothing's going to land out there.
Nothing lands in fair territory in right field.
Makes Carson Cobb's job a lot easier. So Woodson just trying to hold on in this battle here against Emerson, and Emerson there with kind of a shortened swing, more of a defensive swing with the full count.
Choking up a little bit on that bat too, just trying to shorten everything up.
So we'll see if Woodson can deliver. The payoff pitch is up, and this one is going to go to Carson Cobb in right, and Titus Woodson survives the inning. A lot of pitches, but no runs will come in, and Ensworth will stay at 0-0, and we'll be back for the bottom of the second.
Welcome back to Ensworth Live. Nate Stein and Max Keller bringing you Ensworth Tiger baseball. Dax Bramer, the senior first baseman, here to lead things off in the bottom half of the second inning. Facing Matthew Shorey still, the lefty for the Fighting Irish as he peppers in strike 1.
And Bramer will get to restart his at-bat after Mckinley got caught by a large amount stealing second. And so 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers, technically speaking, after it was all said and done.
And already a better situation for Bramer facing 1-1 instead of an 0-2 count.
Right, and no out.
So this one fouled off to the right side, pretty much straight back.
And this pitch low and inside for 2-2. And so I've kind of partially given you the lineup, but Shory's on the mound for the Irish, Derek behind the plate, Emerson at first, Goggin at second, Brown at third, Porter at short. We got Timberio in left. We have Hinson in center and McNeil in right. Really haven't had too many fielding opportunities for Father Ryan. Just Derek throwing the catching the runner at second in Mckinley, which was a great throw, and then whoever covered the bag. But other than that,
yeah, other than that, you got Obi striking out and you flying out to center. So Hinson got a little bit of work there, and then he got some cover work in the throw down to second base as Bramer walks. And a leadoff walk, always a good sign. The Tigers will try to take advantage. It's Mason Jablonski. Jablonski was also part of that comeback. On the defensive side, as Max and I mentioned earlier, just pitched an absolute beauty of a few innings in relief. No hits, 3 strikeouts, and 7 batters faced, or 2 1/3 innings. I think he gets the win for that too, because he closed out the game before the walk-off.
Yeah, Jablonski looked like he never missed a beat on the mound, and looks like he's ready for his first returning start whenever we get to see that. Bramer walked and is on first after changing his fortunes, or we would never know how that bat would have ended, but wasn't going the right way. And instead, Ensworth will have a base runner with nobody out, which is, if I had to guess, not a big number for them in the stat category.
No, we haven't seen it a ton this season. They've struggled to get big innings kind of going early.
Yeah.
Jablonski in a tough position to do so here as well. Already down the count 0-2, but maybe a little bit of a break as Shory went over to first instead, just focusing on the man at home.
Well, Jablonski had a huge hit on Tuesday before the NBA game got out of hand, where he hit the warning track and got all the way to third. So we know he has the power. But he falls behind 1 and 2, and that average definitely, we know how good of a hitter he can be. So 1-2, and Shory looking for anything to strike out or get Jablonski to put one on the ground, and Jablonski does just that. But this one is going to be hit hard enough, and Bramer's going to have some heads-up base running and a slow reaction time from the middle infield of Father Ryan, and Bramer will just stroll into third. So now runners at the hot corners with nobody out.
Guggen looked like he was in a perfect position. Looked like that was going to be a tailor-made double play ball for the Fightin' Irish.
Up to bat,
but not 20, the case.
Conor Cobb.
I think that's going to be ruled an error, a hard hit ball from Jablonski, but that's a play that Guggen should have made, just ate him up, and then he couldn't find it for a second, which allowed Bramer to get to third. So that's big time for the Tigers.
Yeah, well, Guggen was there. Actually, he was played on the shift, and the ball was hit exactly to where he was standing.
Yeah, it's a great defensive positioning. I think he had too little to do.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, his mind wandered, and the ball ate him up.
Yeah, maybe couldn't get the feet moving. I know that the perfect example of that is Conor Cobb at shortstop. Loves to get the feet moving right before a throw. He seems to make a lot of those acrobatic-esque throws.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times. The Derek Jeter jumping away from throwing back across your body.
And this pitch nearly comes in to hit Carson Cobb in the leg. But he will have a 2-1 count. So hitters count for Cobb, who can come up with a huge at-bat here with the 0-0 ball game in the bottom of the third inning with runners at first and third, nobody out. And Cobb destroys this one to center, and this one will surely score Bramer.
Plenty deep enough.
And so Bramer will come home, and this ball game will be 1-0. Carson Cobb with the sacrifice fly in your first out of the inning.
There you go. A sac fly brings the Tigers in, and it's a big one. They go up early. They're on top early on in the game. We haven't seen this at home.
Conor Cobb.
So an RBI. As Bramer scores on that one. And now the younger Cobb, Connor, will have an opportunity as Shorey throws over to check on Jablonski with one down.
Yes, and Shorey has a huge opportunity in terms of confidence and kind of damage control here if he can get one on the ground. But he's just going to look for that second out at Jablonski.
Cobb batting a solid .281 on the season, on base percentage just under .400.
And this pitch from Shorey is outside. So Conor Cobb trying to add on to his hit streak after picking up a huge one at the end of the NBA game on Thursday, and he will take a ball outside for a 2-0 count. So Jablonski normally used to having a pinch runner, but he'll get to run the bases as he's playing third for the past couple games.
Keep those legs loose while you're out there.
Conor Cobb takes a big hack at this one and just swings through it for the first strike of the at-bat. I don't mind that swing down, the hitter's count, 2-0.
Not at all. It's a good executed pitch from Shorey. He knew that Cobb was probably going to be looking for something to hit, probably committed to swinging, and credit to Shorey for making a pretty tough pitch in that situation.
So now a 3-1 count, another hitter's count for Cobb. And Ensworth probably not satisfied with just one. Would like to have a real lead as Conor Cobb will work the walk.
Another runner in scoring position for the Tigers, as it'll be Dylan Hudson.
Number 24, Dylan
DHing.
Hudson.
The sophomores just got 3 at-bats on the season, all of those in a game last week against NBA where he DH'd, went 2 for 3 on the day with a pair of singles, so not too shabby in the first showing of the season at the plate. We also saw Hudson in a pitcher's role a couple games ago as well.
Well, that's the first time that I had gotten to see him on the besides being on the mound. This is the first time I got to see him hit. And he did a good job, 2 for 3, had a good single and an aggressive batting mindset, to be honest with you. And Hudson looking to put one into the outfield, which would score another run for Ensworth. And Shorey really, really committed to checking on the runners on base. Seems like he wants to find an out that way. And this pitch is outside. Derek tried to have a frame job there, but the umpire didn't fall for it.
Yeah, a little too obvious there. He tried to cover too much ground, maybe cut that spacing in half, and he might have been able to get something. As very active in the infield behind them, it's Porter jumping and running around behind Jablonski, trying to distract the runner, maybe pick him off at second. Shorey was looking for him that last time, but nobody was there. And again, Shorey turning and looking, Porter nowhere near the bag, Jablonski back in plenty of time.
And an almost comedic coincidence, Jablonski and Porter were in direct synchronization there. And Hudson puts this one into left.
Jablonski's waved home.
Yeah, Jablonski's going to score. And a fumble of the bag as Conor probably could have gotten to third, as not a really good fielding play there from left.
So first and second still, as the RBI single from Hudson
Number 3, Reed Bushman
will increase the Tiger lead. It's 2-0 now here in the bottom of the second. And the 9-hole hitter Bushman will get his first look at Shorey. This is the type of inning that the Tigers needed, something that kind of drags on a pitcher, gets the pitch count up a little bit. You get a few runs, but it's not just on big hits. You're kind of cutting them up the way that we saw NBA and JP2 do to the Tigers in those 2 series. Death by paper cut. It can be really demoralizing.
And so Bushman drives this one into left, and this is going to be a play at the plate as Conor Cobb comes home, and the cutoff is too late. So Reed Bushman with another timely single RBI, and we got a 3-0 ball game.
There you go, just like that. You keep getting guys on first and second. Base knocks bring home the guy in scoring position every time. So now Hudson on second, Bushman on first. Back-to-back RBI singles. Devin Obi stepping up to the plate now as we get to the top of the lineup. Obi struck out his first at-bat and looking for a big cut on that first pitch. Obi steps out. Not liking what he's seeing. Shorey checks on the runners at second. Obi swinging through this one once again. Looked like a pretty good pitch to hit. Obi just can't seem to find the range. Obi swinging, fouling it back into the glove of Derek, and a 3-pitch strikeout as Obi goes down for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Yu.
Up to bat.
Yu 0 for 1 on the day, flied out to dead center. Put a charge into that ball, though, put it fairly deep. Base hit. Should score at least one. Anything to a gap should clear the bags with 2 outs. Runners will be going on contact. As Yu leaves that one alone off the outside edge.
And so Yu definitely has an opportunity here to add an RBI. And that's kind of the thing that I have realized with the scores is that a lot of these guys have extra base hits. They have some home runs, but the RBI numbers are low just because the runs produced is low.
Yeah, so it's a lot of production while nobody is on the base paths. It's those timely hits that we've talked so much about. And Yu has an opportunity to get one here with a favorable count, 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0 count. Runners on first and second. Tigers with a 3-0 lead. And Yu's going to send this one to right, which is the no landing zone.
No fly zone over there. I think we've yet to see a ball get down that was lofted even a little bit to the right side.
Well, you might as well put a big red square and an H inside of it for the helicopter landing just behind the visiting bullpen. That seems to be a fairly common spot.
Yeah, popular spot. I wonder if we'll see anybody just start to shift over there, maybe play the right fielder in foul territory saying, hey, if it comes anywhere near me, it's going to be foul anyways.
And this pitch is high and outside, 3-1. Andrew Yu has a lot of good options here. He can either get a hit, or if he has to take the walk, brings up a good hitter in Mckinley with bases loaded when you know he has warning track power.
I'm not sure I'd take this bat off my shoulder if I'm Andrew Yu, unless it's the slowest, juiciest fastball down the middle
Andrew
like
Yu
that one was.
All the way to out to right field, and that will be out. He hit that ball the exact same way in his other at-bat. Pretty crazy. Seems to like that location on the field.
Yeah, that right center gap, he's trying to find it, but again, just lofted a little too much, hung up there, and it allowed McNeil and Hinson to track it down.
And at the end of 2 innings, your Tigers are winning 3-0 after a productive inning from the boys, and we'll be back at the top of the third. Welcome back to Ensworth Live. I'm Max Keller alongside Nate Stein, and we are in the presence of greatness as the team manager, Fred Butler, is in the booth with us, and Andrew Garrett doing the scoreboard. So senior squad up here, and
well, hanging out up here, not with us.
Nate
us. Unfortunately, they don't
yeah.
have the headsets, or maybe fortunately,
yeah,
depending on how you look at it.
They're not with us, but you know, Nate Stein looking like a senior in high school still up
Oh,
here.
hey, come on, man. I got a beard. you guys can't grow this type of facial hair yet. You're still a couple years off of that one. If I shaved, however, I might look like a sophomore.
And this bunt will go foul. So Ensworth, if you're just tuning in, scored 3 runs in the bottom of the second on some timely hits, which is exactly what we wanted. Nate and I up here, we got to see other teams do that a lot. And this time with runners in scoring position, 3 singles.
A much more fun style of game when you can get a couple hits early. Even if you don't get the runs early, as long as you know that you're close to producing, you have at least something cooking, it's a much more relaxed game. And you can tell from the pitching staff, Woodson looks great so far.
Oh, yeah, and it gets a lot easier for the pitching staff because Woodson gets to kind of eat up some more time, and he's got a lot more leeway on the mound. And this bunt also foul, so that'll make it a 2-2 count. And just a tough time for Timberio to get the ball in fair play.
Yeah, I don't mind that kind of sneak bunt down the left side. He's just kind of going extreme. He's trying to lay down the perfect bunt, the one that just dribbles kind of towards the grass and hits off the edge of the grass and bounces back but still stays. Yeah, you don't need that when you're trying to lay down something sneaky. Just put it somewhere between the pitcher and the third baseman, and Timberio looks like he's got some wheels. He should be able to beat out most of the plays that Woodson or Jablonski can make, especially considering how deep Jablonski's playing.
Well, now he's got a swing, full count. And this pitch is hit into right field, and Carson Cobb playing super shallow, able to run up on that one fairly easily.
Yeah, it's pretty routine. Cobb made the right read right off the bat, took a few steps in, caught it in stride. And again, that's pretty much the best start you can ask for if you're Woodson. I know it's a few more pitches than he wanted to throw, but still looking okay with 41 pitches in the third inning with 1 down.
Yeah, not a bad pitch count at all. And still no runs on the board for Father Ryan. Well, Ensworth should not shift Carson Cobb any farther right on the foul ball because they've actually been hitting it to him a lot.
Yeah, that one, again, though, that one a little bit lower.
Yeah,
more of a line
lower.
drive,
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe like a bloop line drive over a fly ball. Anything that gets kind of above our eye level
yeah,
up
for
here
sure.
Seems like it's tailing too much.
This pitch inside nearly gets the leg of Porter back to the start of the order for Father Ryan, who didn't have much success with Woodson.
No, they got a few men on as the single from McNeil. The only hit thus far, though. Then you had the walk to Brown after the pass ball. So that was the closest they got. Runners on first and third. McNeil obviously getting into scoring position before the fly ball out to Cobb in right field shut down that rally. And that's the only opportunity of note for the Fighting Irish. This one way back and way high in the air. Obi on his horse, but able to track it down.
Yeah, fairly simple play for somebody that wants to play at the next level. For me, I don't know if I get my hips turned in time.
I would have lost that thing in the sky so fast. That thing was up there.
Oh, my gosh, it's up there, and I don't even know if my hips rotate anymore. It's been a long time for me on the athletic leave here, so getting back there, impressive for Obi. But by his standards, he's probably not even breathing out there.
He makes that play in his sleep. Easy. So Gogan back in. He popped straight up, and Woodson came down towards home plate to make the play. That's not often that you see the pitcher coming in off the mound.
Boy, Woodson's a couple inches off of having 3 hit batters. But
yeah, that one, it looked like you might have pulled it away from the knee of Gogan. I don't know if he saved him or not.
And Woodson falls behind 2-0. You already see some action in the bullpen. Whitman for the Tigers probably just going to stay warm over the next coming innings and kind of with Woodson's status on the mound just kind of flexible.
Not too shabby a task today, 82 and sunny, not a cloud, or I guess just one cloud in the sky over in left field here, but just a perfect day for baseball.
And this one foul, but in play for Dax Bramer, and that will end the inning. So an easy inning for Titus Woodson and the Tigers, who are excited to go right back up to the plate and see if they get another opportunity to score even more runs, and we'll see if they do so when we return to Ensworth Live.
And we're back here, Ensworth Live, Nate Stein and Max Keller. As after a very successful second inning, Kenny McKinley will lead things off in the third, the only man on the Tigers roster to not bat in the second inning. As you tried to put one deep into right center field to give McKinley the chance to drive in a couple runs, but a good track down by McNeil to be able to catch up with that one near the warning track.
Yeah, I'd like to see the overlay on Andrew Yu's first two at-bats, as that ball was on a very similar line to deep right field. That second one was definitely deeper, but two solid hit balls.
Same angle. Both balls kind of starting at the batter's eye and tailing away into that right field gap.
So much so, I mean, Father Ryan, as long as McNeil is playing where he was last inning, I mean, he had to cover a lot of ground, so that ball was in the air for a long time. Just unfortunate it didn't land. So after 3 straight balls from Shorey, McKinley will take strike one, 3-1 count. And McKinley fouls this one back. Full count, 3-2.
And I don't love that he swung at that pitch. And I know that we obviously can see that's out of the zone from a good angle and that he doesn't necessarily have. But at 3-1, where the strike came in a 3-0 situation where he was just trying to put anything over the plate, I think you got to leave the bat on your shoulder just one more time and make him throw a strike. Don't give anything away.
And that pitch is fouled back way up top, but did not hit us again.
It just barely snuck over. Yeah, I was watching it. We've yet to get one land on top of the roof yet as McKinley walks here. And another inning that starts with a leadoff walk. That's great news for the Tigers, as Bramer was their leadoff walk last inning, who then came around and scored the first of 3 runs. So Bramer will have another opportunity. He's 0 for 0 because he walked last inning, but has a run scored.
Weird stat line for Bramer. He has 1 plate appearance in the bottom of the first, then finished as at bat in the bottom of the second.
Right.
And then
so he's got a plate appearance in every inning so far.
Right.
But he has yet to have a hit, even though he has touched every base and scored a run.
Wow.
How about that?
That's an ES.
I'm glad you pointed out that he had the plate appearance in the bottom of the first. I almost forgot about that. That's a fun little situation that you really don't see too often.
That's definitely like an ESPN type stat that they would
100%.
Post. Dax Bramer is the first player on an 82-degree clear sky, no sky. No
Tuesday
clouds.
Afternoon south of the Mason-Dixon line.
To have 3 plate appearances, 1 in each inning, and touch all plates but not have a hit.
Exactly. There's your, what is it, the 3A, 2A, no, Division 1 AA baseball stat of the day for TSSAA. There you go.
A lot of A's there.
Yeah, a lot of A's.
And an A-plus pitch there from Shorey, who hits the strike zone. 2-2 count, works back here, and he's got a tough out here with the Wash U commit, Bramer, who's hitting ball well all season at the plate. Nobody out, McKinley at first.
With the recent Division III conference realignment, Bramer will be going to play his college ball in the same division that I did not play college baseball but attended college, the CCIW, Collegiate Conference of Illinois in Wisconsin. You can include St. Louis in there too. WashU joined that conference on a football basis 2 years ago with the rest of the sports to follow. So a little fun fact for you there as Bramer flies out to shallow right. Jablonski will now come up with one down and a man still on first in Mckinley.
Yeah, and I think that the Tigers are going to have to get used to having runners on base and what that's like to feel the pressure at the plate, but kind of to eventually work away from that pressure and just feel like it's a situational baseball sort of like practice. You need to make it the norm.
Yeah. You can't freak out every time there's a guy on base because you're never going to get anywhere. You need to just pretend, if you have to, that there's a guy on base, even when there's not, just so you can get to that mental state where you don't look at this at bat any differently.
So Mckinley, who got caught stealing last time he was on the base path, is leading off at first and will be checked on by Shorey, and Jablonski swings and misses at that one as couldn't get his eye on that pitch that was up above the zone, most likely.
Mckinley shuffling back towards first.
And Jablonski late and not a great swing there. And now a 1-2 count. Good count here for Shorey to maybe get something to chase away or get something on the ground. We haven't even seen Father Ryan attempt to field a double play this game so far. And Bramer fouls this one back. Jablonski fouls this one back, just working here and protecting the plate.
A little bit lucky there. We've seen Derek make that play a handful of times, so the foul ball tipped back into the glove. Usually sure-handed, but Jablonski will get another opportunity. Let's see if he can make Shorey pay.
And Shorey will step off again as McKinley's lead at this point has to be maybe half a step.
Shorey just really wants to pick on him. I'm not sure why he's worried. He saw how far Derek threw him out by last time McKinley tried to take one. This
could be it.
Got to land on top of us.
It did. Winner.
First one of the season. We were expecting it a long time ago. We've had a lot of narrow misses.
Free Taco Bell for Nate and I. Free Taco Bell. Quesadillas. I'm not buying it. That's the fourth time in our broadcasting career that I've advertised for something, and I never buy it.
That's false advertising, Max.
Yeah. They're going to come and get me. They're going to come and get me.
The FCC's coming for you.
These are not free airways anymore. 2-2, one out, runner on first. And Jablonski sends this one sky high, and this will be an impressive play. Wow, really good attention to detail there by Emerson at first.
Yeah, able to stick around and track over towards the dugout into that dirt area right in front of the visiting dugout, and a good combination of spatial awareness from Emerson to know exactly where he was on the field in relation to the dugout, and also communication from his teammates and coaching staff to let him know that he had plenty of space to make that play.
And so here's a guy who's looking to kind of get jump-started at the plate. Had such a good freshman campaign when I was on the team with him. One of the only guys on the team. I think he had 2 home runs in his freshman season. One of them went over that left field wall at Father Ryan, I think, if I remember correctly. So he's crowding the plate here. 2 out, first pitch, and he drives one into left. Good single there, and all of a sudden, with 2 out, you have Conor Cobb up with a runner in scoring position.
Base knocks. That's just what the Tigers need to focus on. It doesn't need to be anything spectacular. It doesn't need to be the hardest hit ball in the world. It doesn't need to be a 3-run bomb that goes 400 feet every time. Solid contact through the hole on the left side. All it does is it extends the inning. It gets the pitch count up. We're sitting on 61 pitches now from Shorey. That arm's going to start to get tired here. It could be Conor Cobb who takes advantage. He reached on a walk and scored last inning, and now he's got an opportunity with runners in scoring position.
Well, this would be huge. Ensworth is just going to take all the runs they can get. As they just want to add to that run total, whether it's in terms of this game or just for confidence or pride. I don't really care which one it is.
Well, that's something you and I have talked about off air a few times, Max. After a couple of these games, it feels like there's going to be an explosion of runs. There's a very close play at second. We had a great view of that one, but McKinley just getting his hand back in time. But to get back to what I was saying, we were talking about how there's just got to be an explosion of runs. There's too much talent on this Ensworth roster for us to continuously just score 1 or 2 runs a game. We saw a little bit of it in that Thursday game against NBA, and now we see the 3 runs early on here. But to your point, always looking to add more, always looking to extend.
Well, if you're just tuning in, Ensworth is winning 3-0 here in the bottom of the third. And my point is that Shorey has been the exception so far just because Ensworth hasn't let him settle in up there. I think the other pitchers get so confident after a quick 1-2-3 inning or a quick 6 outs. And, you know, when you let a guy settle in up there, it's a lot different than when Shorey has to look up on that scoreboard and see a 3-0 deficit and keep pitching on the mound.
Yeah, and the Tigers definitely fortunate that he wasn't able to get comfortable, but they can take a little bit of credit there because even though he had a 1-2-3 inning, Bramer to start the second, walk. Next guy reaches on an error. So they let you basically have forced Father Ryan to put the pressure on themselves at that point and forcing them into making mistakes by just basically playing smart baseball.
And so Conor Cobb drives this one back, stays at 2-2. Good job there to get a hack at that one, and this time looking for a different result and drive one into play. So McKinley on second. Carson Cobb on first, looking directly at his brother, who's in the box for this 2-out at bat. And this pitch just hit the bottom left corner and must have had some movement on it as Conor Cobb didn't really see that one very well.
Yeah, the backwards K, he didn't see it. And a pretty good pitch from Shorey to keep it a 3-run game. Anything that got onto the ground with 2 outs there probably scores a handful of runs and puts this game almost out of reach. But we head to the top of the 4th now.
Yeah, Woodson's going to stay on the mound, presumably.
No.
He's just going to pick up the ball.
I was trying to figure out why he looked like he was running more at second base on the pitcher's mound.
We haven't seen him play in the field other than pitcher, but I know he can play outfield, but yeah, that would have been bizarre. Yeah. So he'll stay on the mound. What's his pitch count at, Nate?
We are looking at 48 pitches, so a really good number for Woodson through 3 innings, especially when you got a 3-0 lead.
Yeah,
you got to feel super comfortable knowing that the only inning that you've even been hit was that second inning, and that was just kind of a bloop single from McNeil that got through because it was right up the right side. And other than that, no damage, just a walk, pass ball that moved a runner around. But Woodson's got to be feeling pretty confident in his delivery and knowing what he can do against his Father Ryan lineup. He will be seeing everybody for the second time through the lineup here, so keep an eye on that. But second facing against Porter and Gogan last inning, didn't have any issues. 1-2-3 inning. So it'll be Derek, McNeil, and Hinson to get things going for Father Ryan here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, I think that Woodson at this point has a huge opportunity to raise his first pitch strike percentage because you're not scared to throw the first pitch strike anymore because either they don't make contact and you're ahead, they don't swing and you're ahead, or they make contact and there's not a lot of damage that they can do right now.
First one up high, though. Again, that 50-50 split coming into this game. .506 first pitch strike percentage from Woodson, so 50.6%. Almost like flipping a coin.
Ooh, that pitch just high over the strike zone for ball 2. And until you really get to that prospect or college level, it's hard to tell whether or not they meant to throw a pitch out of the zone or if that just came out of the hand wrong versus, with a guy like Jacob deGrom for the Mets, you know that if he misses, it's probably because he meant to miss.
99% of the time, if he misses the zone, he's missing the zone on purpose.
So that's just one of the more difficulties. But, I think Woodson has a pretty good feel for the zone as he hits the top right corner there to halt Mason in his footsteps, or Derek in his footsteps, unable to run to first. What he thought would have been a walk.
He wanted that 4-pitch walk, a good frame job by you. And now Woodson gets him to roll one over to the right side. Jablonski can't handle it. That ball.
Really awkward bounce. Very similar to the play we saw at second base for, that would be Gogan.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
this time,
one of those high bounces, maybe a little bit of glare there, maybe just not seeing it perfectly.
Yeah, I think different reasons. I mean, and we talked about for Gogan maybe not being able to move his feet at all, an awkward timing. And I think there for Jablonski, he's got to get his feet moving, but that one just had a really weird rhythm.
It
on
came
the
up
bounce.
really high
fast,
on that second bounce. I think he was expecting it to stay a little bit lower.
And I think he also overcommitted. I think I saw him kind of wince after he took that first step, like, oh, where do I go now? So a little awkward hit there. We'll see. I think they'll call that an infield single, if I had to guess. You think,
I think
an error?
That's a high enough bouncing ball, in my opinion.
I thought
it's a play Jablonski probably should make. He didn't need to lay out. He didn't need to even move that much. It was just a false step where he stepped in where he maybe should have just stayed put initially. I think that should be ruled an error. Yeah,
you're probably right, Nate. I'll give wisdom of years. We'll be the
appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll be the tiebreaker here. 1-0 count. Derek on first and McNeil at the plate for Father Ryan, who's got to get to work here, down 3-0. And this pitch high for Woodson.
Woodson struggling to find the strike zone a little bit here in the fourth, as we do have some motion in the bullpen still, as we see Reed Whitman running back down maybe to restart his warm-up. This could be the last inning from Woodson regardless of whether he gets out clean or not.
4-pitch walk for Woodson, and this is exactly how Ensworth started the inning against NBA, where they made up their 3-run deficit. You cannot.
Yeah, it was too many walks in that inning too. I think we had 3 or 4 straight. A run got walked in that situation. So Coach Maxwell, is that Maxwell?
No, it'll be the pitching coach, who actually, I apologize, I don't have a name down. I have not actually gotten to introduce myself with all of the staff here. I played my freshman year, and I know Coach Schultz, who was on your first base side when the Tigers are at bat, and Maxwell on third. But Woodson will stay in the game after a little pep talk.
Yeah, just a quick conversation here. I mean, trying to buy a little bit more time for Whitman to get warmed up down the left field line, but also just trying to calm Woodson down, saying, hey, listen, man, you got to pitch from a place of confidence. We got a 3-run lead here. Yes, there's 2 guys on, nobody out, but we're still safe. The guys are still got a double play ball. You're facing a lineup, yes, for the second time, but you got out 7 out of the 9 guys the first time through. Get 7 out of 9 the second time through as well. You already gave up your 2 hits, or your 2 base runners.
And this pitch inside for ball 1, and as we see Hinson try to set up for a bunt, and until somebody proves otherwise, he also doesn't seem to have to worry about home run power. So with one swing, he's probably pretty safe here. Just got to throw some strikes. 1-0 count.
Hinson once again.
And Andrew Yu tried to convince the umpire that he wanted to play that so he could throw over to third.
Yeah, he handled it cleanly with the bare hand off the hop, but that thing never got into fair territory, fouled pretty much straight back.
And so runners on first and second. Father Ryan down by 3 here in the top of the 4th inning.
Hinson going to try to go down the third base line as this one is low. And one thing you can't do if you're Woodson, you can't be afraid to let them advance the runners here and end up not giving him something to lay down. We haven't seen anybody laying down a clean bunt yet. Put something in the zone, let Hinson try to. Based on what we've seen, it's most likely going to be foul.
Yeah, this is a 3-1 count, and Woodson in danger of walking 3 straight batters if he can't find the zone here, which is going to give Hinson a lot of confidence to go right back to that bunt position. No reason not to get back in that spot and make Woodson throw a strike. Maybe Woodson doesn't like the look he's getting there. And this will be laid down, and Woodson doesn't make the play on it. That's going to be an infield single bunt from Hinson. And Coach Maxwell this time will head out to the mound and probably going to see Whitman come into the game. And we do see Whitman take the walk up from the bullpen, and with bases loaded, Whitman will inherit a tough spot. One swing of the bat, in theory, could really change this game. And so we'll see what the sophomore Whitman can do when he comes in here. And we will take a short break as Whitman gets going. Welcome back to Ensworth Live. I'm Max Keller alongside Nate Stein. And we will see a pitching change for the Tigers as Reed Whitman will enter the game and head to the mound. He's got bases loaded. Father Ryan with a huge opportunity, trailing by 3 in the top of the 4th. But a lot of damage could be done here. And the huge at-bat will fall into the hands of Rolling, I believe, the designated hitter.
It will be Rolling. Grounded out to the second baseman. His first at bat. This one ripped into the gap. That's going to
get to the fence.
Everybody. That'll clear the bases. We got ourselves a tie game, folks.
And so a 3-run RBI triple and an awkward landing from Rolling on third, who tried to slide and instead almost did more of a combination of a jump slide. But he looks to be okay. Really awkward there and is worried about his wrist. But Whitman throws 1 strike, and we have a tie ball game, 3-3, and just like that, everybody's gonna have to reset. We have a whole new scoreboard and a whole new game, and now a runner in scoring position on third, and Brown up to bat, and Father Ryan could take the lead here. Nobody out.
So that will officially close the book on Titus Woodson's day, as he goes 3+ innings, allowing 2 hits and 3 runs, only 2 of them earned, as all of those runs that just came in will be attributed to Woodson. But obviously the man reaching on the error in Derek is not an earned run, as Yu knocks down a wild pitch, able to keep the runner on third and not give up the go-ahead run to the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, that was a huge stop by Andrew Yu, and depending on the way the score turns out in this game, we can look back to that play. And Whitman throws strike 1. And if you're Whitman, you just got to throw strikes. You can't go back, can't reverse, and
you can't worry about the guy on third either. You need to just trust yourself, trust your fielders. Infield's in, anything on the ground, if they can knock it down, hopefully be able to hold him.
And a swing and a miss. What would be even better would be if the Tigers can pick up their first strikeout of the game.
Yeah.
And Brown trying to pick up an RBI after his teammate Rolling just picked up 3 of them. And this pitch low for ball 2.
Another good job by Yu, dropping down into his stance and just keeping that ball in front of him. He's not too focused on getting everything cleanly into the glove. He just wants to keep it between his legs, between his knees, kind of in front of him.
And this ball is hit onto the ground, and due to the infield in, Conor Cobb will have an easy throw and will hold the runner on third. So that's a great scenario, but unfortunately with 1 out, you'll have to do that 1 more time before you're completely safe, per se.
Yeah, it's one of the best case scenarios. Obviously, if it's going to be contact, you want it to be a shallow pop fly that stays on the infield, or something in foul territory even, or a ground ball. But anything softly hit or something that wasn't hit right at Cobb, it might have given Rolling an opportunity. So Cobb does a good job of looking him back. And no changes here. Everybody playing in a little bit.
And now with the RBI on the plate, Emerson will step up with his silverware.
Emerson 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out to right field earlier on over to Carson Cobb.
1-0 count. 1 out. Whitman pitching. And Father Ryan swung 1 bat and tied this ball game. And this ball is going to get through. And
Rolling will
score. So
ball.
Father Ryan, 5 minutes ago, was losing this ball game 3-0, and T-5 later, 4-3 Father Ryan.
Just like that. It can all change in 1 inning. The Tigers know that better than anybody, having fallen prey to an inning like that against NBA rather, and then also having given NBA a taste of that same medicine with the walk-off, 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th.
And this ball is hit onto the ground as Emerson will continue his at-bat.
So now the pressure, I guess you could say, off for Whitman. Nobody on base. He can just kind of work from his standard position. But the Tigers will now have work to do.
And another foul ball. 2-2 count for Emerson. 1 out. And so Father Ryan on the bench will have higher morale, but I haven't really heard them as much. You know, last game on Thursday, we had a packed out crowd, packed out dugouts making noise at each other. This game's been a little more quiet, and a full count for Whitman now. And Emerson trying to keep the inning alive. This ball gently hit to the center fielder, Devin Obie, who will pick up the second out of the inning. And Whitman throws a lot of strikes. Just other teams are seeing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is only one player on the other team seeing him. It was rolling. He hit a monstrous triple. It was a hard hit ball straight into the gap. You can say that Carson Cobb maybe didn't take the best angle to it and he let that ball get behind him, but I don't think it makes a difference whether he cuts that ball off there at getting all the way to the wall. He was only about 15, 20 yards shy of the wall anyways.
And this ball's going to run in and hit Tim Barrio and bring up the start of the order, Porter. And we started this inning with Derek. So Father Ryan only has to bring one more batter to the plate and Gogan to complete the nine-man cycle.
Porter 0 for 2 on the day. So the third time, actually the first time he'll be facing Whitman. Those 2 outs were picked up by Titus Woodson.
And this ball will be hit to to short. Conor Cobb will take the difficult route and he'll throw all the way to first instead of tossing it over to Bushman at second, but nonetheless, Ensworth will escape that inning without allowing another run, but they do trail 4-3 as we are ready for the bottom of the fourth when we return to Ensworth Live.
Welcome back to Ensworth Live. Nate Stein and Max Keller as we are at the midway point of this 7-inning game. Middle of the fourth. Dylan Hudson, the DH for the Tigers, getting set to lead things off. In the bottom of the fourth, he's 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI single back in the second inning as a part of that 3-run inning.
And Hudson with the big burly time behind the plate as he plays offensive line for your Ensworth Tigers football team and brings some power to the plate. And he drives this one awkwardly to short. And depending on this outcome, he will be out. But he had another opportunity. He's really seeing the ball well.
Yeah, it's not the hardest hit ball, but hit it to the left side, made both the third baseman and shortstop try to think about it. The third baseman let it go over his head, and it almost ran up on Porter at short, but Porter made a good play and made a strong throw across the diamond to get Hudson. Bushman, the 9-hole hitter, also 1 for 1 with an RBI single on the day. Him and Hudson went back-to-back back in the second. Just 68 pitches for Shorey.
69th will be in the dirt for ball 1. 1 out, nobody on. Reed Bushman at the plate, and Father Ryan just jolted 4 runs very quickly in the back half of this inning to take the 1-run lead. So Bushman trying to set up the counterattack, and he fouls this one back behind the plate. And I think that's Reed Bushman and Carson Cobb with no glove look. Really surprised to see that.
Little throwback energy there. You don't see that too often in today's game.
And I think, we'll take the walk. I think I maybe see even stirrups under those, but I guess it doesn't count if you don't pull the pants up.
No, you got to pull the pants up if you're rocking the stirrups. You got the long sock look here from Obi, batting in the leadoff position. He'll get his third at bat. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Matthew Shorey has just had Obi's number so far today.
And into division play for Devin Obi has been tough for him, as this ball is going to be popped up, but could be a really good spot.
Just hung up a little too much and gave Hinson an opportunity to run in on it. But very close to being a bloop single, with the outfield playing very deep for Obi. But Obi 0 for 3 on the day now. 0 for 2. Those top two spots in the lineup have struggled. Everybody else has at least been on base, other than those two batters.
We'll see if Andrew can get on base, as this one will go to right field, but will land foul, as it always does.
That was deep foul, too. That 305 down the line, that thing probably land at 298.
I mean, Andrew, you, with better location on the results, could have 3 extra base hits off of Shorey here today, based on the way he's hit the ball.
All 3 of those swings have easily gone over 300 feet in the air, as he takes strike 2 looking there.
Yeah, I think maybe at this point that take right there was like, I'm hitting the ball and what else can I do?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a frustration take there, just trying to see if he can change it up a little bit. But 0-2 count, we'll have to defend the plate here. Fouls this one back awkwardly. And Kenny Mckinley will come pick up the ball, adding to his Tiger hours. It's not really a thing, but we can make it.
I was going to say, is that what you guys call your service hours here for students? I don't know if that counts, as you almost takes one up high, ducking out of the way there.
Yeah, I don't know if he was ducking from that ball or trying to show off the flow with that little head movement there. Shout out Justin Bieber. 1-2, 2 out. Runner on first. Tigers down by 1. You will strike out to end the inning, and Father Ryan will come back up to the plate to start the top of the 5th inning when we return to Ensworth Live. Welcome back to Ensworth Live. I'm Max Keller alongside Nate Stein, and we're all set for the top of the 5th inning, where Father Ryan will bat here with Gogan, the second baseman, taking it on. Father Ryan scored 4 runs off of 1 hit to right, 3 runs from 1 hit to right field, and then I believe that the hit was done by rolling, right? If I'm
rolling
and then he
triple.
He got home on a pitch that got behind Andrew Yu. And so Father Ryan now ready to hit Whitman.
As Gogan showing bunt a little late both times, but Whitman missing on the outside edge of the plate, 2-0. Again.
And this one will be bunted, and Woodson was unable to make that play last time, and now there's going to be a close play at second. Cobb throws way over to Cobb's head, and now
he's going to make it all the way to third.
Yeah, as Carson Cobb got ambitious there on the throw to second base, and now instead of having somebody held up at first, it'll be
I think it's going to be
error.
No.
Yeah, it'd be an error on the throw.
Yeah, so it'd be E1 followed by E9 followed by that's it. Yeah, E1,
followed
E9
by him on third base.
Yeah,
and now Father Ryan with nobody out, a runner on third, just ambitious mistakes from Ensworth in the field, and. As Whitman was fielding that ball, I was saying that Woodson was unable to field the bunt last time Father Ryan got one down, and unable to make the throw over to first was Whitman there. So up to bat is the catcher Derek, who's had himself quite the game with the field and the plate. And he drives this one into left, which will be enough to score the run, assuming that Mckinley has room, but it's going to drop, and that's going to be a double and another error. That's going to be an error on Kenny Mckinley, and Derek will get into second, and that'll be another run for Father Ryan, who is up 5-3 now after taking advantage of this inning, and now the pinch runner will come in for Father Ryan, number 11, O'Connell.
And that ball just kept going out to left. It didn't look like he got all of it, but Derek obviously got a very big piece of that, sending it to the warning track. McKinley backing up, thought he was about to run out of room, and that ball just got over his head.
Yeah, I thought that one, based on the amount of room McKinley had, that one might have gotten over even. It was crazy how long that one stayed up in the air. And so now Father Ryan, another runner in scoring position after picking up one more run, and still nobody out for Whitman, and no action in the Ensworth bullpen right now.
I think they're going to let Whitman try to ride this one out. Man on second, nobody down.
And already showing bunt is McNeil. And he pulls the bunt away, and Whitman unable to throw a strike. 1-0 count. So Whitman checks on the runner at second and throws to the plate. And Andrew Yu, good job to block and keep the runner from advancing. But that'll be another ball from Whitman, who's struggling to find the zone after throwing some pitches that Father Ryan has hit well.
Trying to stay away from McNeil, who's 1 for 1 on the day, a single and then a walk.
And this pitch, really good spot, middle outside for strike one.
McNeil showing bunt once again. We'll see if he holds it on. He won't.
And really good job to stay back by McNeil. Almost lunged forward too far.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to go after that one. Didn't miss far off the outside edge.
3-1 count. Runner on second. This pitch is fouled and will get out of the field of play. And, ooh, my gosh, there is a small child over there that was 5 feet within the vicinity of that baseball.
That was close. Got to keep your head on a swivel if you're going to be out there.
Too close for comfort. McNeil standing in there, full count, facing Whitman. And this curveball really fooled McNeil, as McNeil kind of threw his hands up, didn't really know exactly what to do there. So McNeil will step back into the box. Full count. Andrew Yu shading outside. This pitch goes inside, but hits the left corner of the plate for strike 3. So I believe that is our first strikeout of the day.
First one, got him looking. Whitman picks up the K. Missed his spot there, but missed it in a pretty good location, catching that inside corner with that backside tail. So that'll bring up the center fielder, Hudson, who's 1 for 2 on the day.
And if you check over on the left side, Whitman still pitching here, but Drew Lancaster warming up in the bullpen for the Tigers. And this feels like one of those situations where against NBA on Thursday, at the time when Mason Jablonski had 2 shutout innings, it didn't feel that important because the momentum was so heavily favoring NBA and the way that game was trending did not feel like that comeback was about to happen. And so even though this game is like, wow, Father Ryan has just put up 5 unanswered runs, if the score can stay there, there's still time for the Tigers here. Bottom 5, bottom 6, and bottom 7.
Oh, there's plenty of time.
Yeah.
We're just past the midway point of this game. The back 3 innings do tend to move pretty quick, but the Tigers have plenty of opportunity to come back. They only trail by 2 runs.
And that's the danger of momentum is even me up in the booth here, I may be making a false assumption as I feel the momentum, but then Tigers dugout has to be actively working to stay confident, stay positive, and kind of keep that good mindset. 0-2 count, and Whitman looking for his second K here if he can throw a good pitch to Hudson. And Whitman throws this one, breaking ball into the dirt for ball 1.
We never see that curveball unless he's ahead in the count. It's a big game changer, honestly. I mean, we saw how McNeil reacted to it, kind of panicking and throwing out a late swing that he hit foul in that last at-bat, and that one, Hudson looked tempted even though that ball was well low and away.
Yeah, and I think that curveball hits the perfect outside of the zone for his second K. So
back-to-back Ks looking for Reed Whitman.
Huge spot there. Yeah, with McNeil, he actually also almost came through on the swing, which I think was a curveball, which the one that he looked like he wanted a check swing on, and then came through the high swing, and then Hudson almost went for a pitch and then looked at one on that outside zone. So for the sophomore, it looks like developing this curveball for Whitman could be a huge key in his pitching performances moving forward as the designated hitter and the man of the hour for Father Ryan with a 3 RBI triple in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, brought in the 3 runs to tie it, and then came home himself as the go-ahead run. Another run scored earlier this inning.
And he has another runner in scoring position with 2 out, runner on second, rolling, swing and a miss. That had to be off speed, or else rolling would have been just
way out in front of that one. And we are seeing a little bit of movement in the Father Ryan bullpen now.
Yeah, it's going to be number 33 warming up, Sam McNeil.
Yeah, the right fielder, McNeil.
Maybe
getting ready to maybe switch things up.
I was going to say maybe sibling of the right fielder, but he just is the right fielder. And,
yes, same guy.
That's how that one works.
That's that dude.
So a 1-2 count. Whitman looking for his 3rd straight K, and that would be the first 3 for the Tigers. He can get them all in 1 inning here. 1-2 count. Can he put this pitch in a good location?
We'll see if he goes back to the well with that curveball. He's had a lot of success on 2 strikes with it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a different look with a righty-lefty matchup, as that pitch may not run the way he wants it to, as he does go fastball. And I thought that one hit the bottom left corner, and Andrew Yu's going to take his time throwing that.
I'd like to know where that was, please.
Yeah, Andrew Yu took his time to throw that ball back to the mound. It really wanted strike 3 there, and Andrew Yu didn't even have to frame that one.
No, that looked like a really pretty pitch.
And Andrew wants a different call himself.
Yeah, communicating with the dugout at the high school level especially. It's rare to see a catcher call his own game. I mean, you obviously will have a little bit of autonomy there being the level of catcher that he is, and will probably have to call his own games at some point when he gets to Duke. But for now, letting the coaching staff decide on most of the pitches.
So we have a full count here for rolling. Huge spot to add to his season totals. And this pitch low in the dirt. That'll be ball 4. Well, it's interesting what you mentioned about Andrew having to call his own game. I did a little bit more reading into some of the no-hitters we've seen this season and how much the pitcher gives a lot of credit to their catcher and knowing the heat maps and knowing the kind of the strikes and the pitches that the batter can't hit. Obviously, the heat maps is more for the pitcher himself for location, but it's really a tag team effort. And I think Andrew Yu is already learning the early stages of communication really well when he goes for the mounds. As this one is going to drop into the gap, maybe. Yeah, this one drops into the gap. And depending on the throw here from Obi, yeah, this is going to have to be a held up runner at third, but that will score another run. Huge double for number 25, Brown. And I don't know if will that be a double or will that be... Yeah, that will be a double, I think.
That's a double for sure. That's a hard hit ball into the gap. One hop, Obi picked it up.
And there was no throw at another plate to advance him. So really good play there. And now Father Ryan with 2 runners in scoring position, 2 out, up 6-3. And Whitman trying to get his way out of this inning that he started by striking out the first 2 batters. And this ball hit on the ground and into left field, and this will score 2 more runs. Timely hits, and this will be another double as number 20, Emerson. That'll be Drew Emerson standing up on second base now. And Father Ryan up 8-3. They've scored 4 runs in back-to-back innings of work, and now this game is really in a tough spot for the Tigers.
8-3 now with Timbario up to bat. 4 runs in each of the past 2 innings, and the Fighting Irish not done yet. Timbario was hit by a pitch earlier, trying to show bunt with 2 down, trying to trust his legs to get him aboard here.
Yeah, we've seen that he can have some serious speed and that his coaches trust him having the chance to outrun the throw to first, but a runner in scoring position, you might want to just let him swing the bat here. So a 1-0 count. And he tries to lay this one back, and it'll be a 1-1 count. Foul ball back.
Timbario getting ready to step back in.
Two out, 1-1 count. Whitman delivers, and this pitch too high, ball 2. Timbario still showing bunt and probably will stick with it as long as this coach gives him the signal and as long as he doesn't have 2 strikes. And Timbario lays this one down, and that's the perfect bunt, as that'll be
it's beautiful.
Infield single, and the runner will advance to third, which puts him in a spot to get home if anything goes on a wild pitch or anything really that gets to the outfield.
So first and third, top of the order. Porter 0 for 3 on the day, but in a very good opportunity to do a little bit more damage here against the Tigers. Whitman with 2 down on a couple of strikeouts looking has been unable to get much help other than that.
And we'll see here what the at-bat will be. And this one is smacked to center field, and Devin Obi running back, and this one's going to land over Devin Obi's head, and this will score another run, and this will
another 2.
Yeah, it's going to be another 2 runs. It'll be 10-3, and the stand-up double for Porter. That's 3 straight doubles. And Father Ryan has scored 6 here in the top of the 5th after scoring 4 in the top of the 4th, and now a mound visit as Whitman's day might be done.
And you know what's crazy about that? None of these runs are earned. That first at-bat of the inning, Gogan reached on an error. Nobody had scored before each of those 2 strikeouts.
Wow.
So all 6 runs this inning unearned.
Is that really how that works?
Yeah, because
That's crazy.
Because the error essentially takes away an out. That would have been 3 outs before any of the runs scored if that error hadn't happened and those 2 strikeouts still happened in the order that they had. The inning is getting out of hand as Drew Lancaster comes into the game. We'll take a quick break while he gets settled on the mound. Stick with us here on Ensworth Live.
welcome back to Ensworth Live. I'm Max Keller alongside Nate Stein, and if you were to tune into this game at the bottom of the third, Ensworth would be leading 3-0, but 2 innings later, Father Ryan puts up 10 runs in 2 innings, all on big hits, not even walks or errors. They're really driving them in. And now another runner on second because the double cycle has just been continuing. And Lancaster's first pitch in relief will pop up the batter, and if he can catch this, will end the inning. So Lancaster, 1 pitch, ends the inning as Gogan flies up. But Ensworth will have their work to do, and we're just going to stay on air here.
Yeah, we just got a little break.
We're
hanging out. I'm trying to tabulate Whitman's final pitching line. It's going to be 1+ innings, 6 hits, 1 walk, 2 Ks, 1 batter hit by a pitch. And I believe it's going to be a total of 7 runs given up, but only 1 of them is going to be an earned run due to that situation last inning or this half inning that just ended with the leadoff error putting the runner aboard, then 2 quick outs being picked up after that, causing all of the subsequent runs to not actually hurt Whitman's stats, just hurt the team in this game, obviously.
And, well, if you were to say in the bottom of the second inning or afterwards that Titus Woodson's day would be done 3 innings before Shory's will continue here after being down 3-0. Impressive stuff for Shory just to stay committed and not waver from his confidence after letting up those runs.
It's really just been that 1 inning. The second inning was a little bit rough, but around that, the first inning, 3 up, 3 down with a little bit of help from your catcher, Derek, throwing out McKinley, trying to swipe second base. In the second inning, that's when those 3 runs happened, but still not letting them bat all the way through the lineup. The third inning, you face 5 batters, but you get 3 of them out. Nobody gets past second. In the fourth inning, 4 batters, but nobody gets past first. So Shory just seeming to settle in a little bit each inning.
And McKinley swings first pitch and will ground out. Really good play from Gogan there.
Right back up the middle, 1 pitch, 1 out. I like that McKinley's being aggressive when you have this much ground to make up.
Up to bat, number
It's going to take more than that. Bramer. 0 for 1 on the day, did walk and score back in that big second inning for the Tigers. They need that and then some here in the bottom of the 5th. A few more opportunities still, though. 5th, 6th, and 7th. Plenty of game left.
But the outs are not going to be at a premium as this ball is fouled back onto the football field. If you had football field in foul ball bingo, you can go ahead and put your chip down.
Go ahead and mark that one off.
And the winner gets a prize that I will not pay for.
You pay for anything, Max?
I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
Isn't that what college roommates are for? They can do all the paying?
If you're lucky, man. As Bramer puts a
Wow.
charge into this one way back.
That's gone.
See you later.
And Dax Bramer with a solo shot, 370 over the left field wall. And he wishes that was in a more exciting spot of the game, but who knows? 1 run can be the building block to a lot.
Yeah, that can change things. And obviously McKinley wishing he was able to get on base there, and immediately after this one gets out of the yard. We'll have a meeting on the mound. I don't think Shory's going to come out at all. Had McNeil warming up in the bullpen, so with him in right field, the bullpen's obviously empty at this point. But we'll see how well McNeil's shoulder held up. That was a while ago. It was a long couple innings since those warm-up tosses, but Shory's going to stick with it here. And he'll have Jablonski coming up with 1 down and a home run in.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the 3rd Tiger on the roster to get a home run this season. And Bramer will join the club with Obi and McKinley. Really, really good contact, and that one just had the perfect launch angle. The other ones have just kind of stayed up in the air too long, but that one just on a line to left. So that will put the score at 10-4, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Tigers are trying to come back here. Not working with a ton of sun, to be honest with you. The sun's going down pretty quickly.
We're starting to run out of a little bit of time here. And do they just call the game if we run out of sun? Is there a certain innings limit? Do you know, Max? I haven't run into this issue before.
There is a light concern, although Ensworth will push it to the very, very limit. And it is only 6 o'clock as this one is sent
Same
deep into
spot,
left field.
into the gap that should get down.
Yeah, this is going to get down, and now another runner as Jablonski will stay up at second, bringing up Conor Cobb, who also has warning track power.
The stand-up double there. A little bit of power coming out of the bats here from the Tigers with their backs against the wall, as Jablonski will be safely into second with the stand-up double. A little bit more, maybe only 10, 15 feet shorter than Dax Bramer's home run just moments ago. Those swings and those ball flights almost mirror images. Bramer just got a little bit more behind his. So the elder Cobb, Carson, stepping up to the plate, and he puts this one down the right field line. This is going to be extra bases as well as it gets to the wall. Jablonski will score.
Wow, and Ensworth is just swinging the bats right now. 10-5 with another runner in scoring position and bringing up Conor Cobb.
So the extra base hit train is alive and well. Home run, double. Yeah, we actually got one down in the right field, down the right field line. You see anything that's lower than our eye level? I think that stayed beneath our eye level the whole time. Anything that stays down there will get down, and now we're going to get the pitching changes. You see the coach walk out and point to right field. McKinley will be coming in to pitch. We'll try to get a number on who's replacing him in right. And that, waiting to see a number. Looks like number 11.
Yeah, that's going to be
It's going to be Michael O'Connell.
And so O'Connell heading out to right field for the Fighting Irish, and McNeil coming in to pitch. So that closes the book. Well, almost officially on Shory's day. He's able to go 4.1 innings pitched, allowing 5 runs on 8 hits.
Well, don't look twice. Ensworth with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th has closed the gap from 10-3 to 10-5, and they are ready to swing the bats. As I don't know what somebody said in the dugout, but these guys came out ready to hit. And a little bit more of a sidearm slot release for that'll be McNeil on the mound for the Fighting Irish. Yeah, definitely comes down, kind of pulls back the arm, and then releases at maybe more of a 8 o'clock. Or excuse me, more like 8 o'clock would be very sidearm. That would be.
That's pretty sidearm. That's
Yeah,
that's
might
definitely
be-
right around 9
yeah.
o'clock. Not quite down low to 8, but from our perspective, for his perspective, that's maybe 3 o'clock from the right side. But as it's coming at you, it is a low arm angle, and he's got a little movement on that. I don't know if that's technically a slider or a cutter that we just saw him throw. .86 pitches for Shory, who is in line for the win. He struck out 4 in his efforts. Conor Cobb now up with his brother aboard on second base after that RBI double.
So Conor Cobb has the opportunity to score his brother from second base. First pitch hits the middle of the strike zone, so boy, that is a huge sigh of relief for McNeil.
McNeil checking on the runner at second.
And this pitch will hit the same spot pretty much, and Cobb now is going to have to swing the bat down 0-2. And no matter how many runs you score this inning, you really don't want to strand a runner in scoring position at this point. So next 2 at-bats are crucial for the Tigers. This one way outside, and I think that one was pulled a little late by McNeil.
Just holding on to it a touch too long.
So 1-2 count. Conor Cobb will have to protect the plate here. And this one hits him in the back. He's going to get to take first base. And so now Dylan Hudson, the designated hitter, up.
Little bit of luck there, facing a 1-2 count, as Cobb couldn't quite get out of the way of that one. So runners now on first and second for the DH. Hudson 1 for 2 on the day. He's got a single. He's 3 for 5 on the season, so a small sample size, but hitting more often than not is Hudson.
And he's an aggressive batter, which is just what you want. Runner in scoring position, and this pitch is high and outside. Ball 1, Hudson will take. Now, if you're McNeil, on the other hand, you see the aggression, and you maybe go off-speed, breaking ball down and in, try to get something on the ground here, and kind of sweep the legs out from the Tigers on this inning that has already seen 2 runs come home.
Yeah, base knock should score another as this ball goes down low. Throw back to first. Good job by Cobb.
A lot happened on that play right there.
Yeah.
Conor Cobb could have been out if he was late, but also both runners could have advanced.
If that ball got past the first baseman, Emerson, which it almost did, it was thrown on the foul side of the bag.
Yeah, but Derek also made a really big play behind the plate, so really a lot
Stopping
on that one pitch. So now 2-0 count, hitters count for Hudson, who drives one up into the air and probably will not be deep enough to advance the runner, and it won't. So Hudson sacrifices the second out of the inning, bringing up Reed Bushman.
Now Bushman now with 2 down and 2 on. 1 for 1 on the day. He's got an RBI single back in the second inning, then walked in the 4th. So Bushman, at the very least, looking to stay alive. He was able to work a pretty long-form walk his last at-bat, 5 or 6 pitches.
Well, he got
that was back when Shorey.
Yeah, he got an RBI last time, or not last time. He had,
back in the second, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this might have been the last time he had seen a runner on second. I don't think he had anybody.
No, nobody on base his last at-bat. So he did get an RBI single back in the second, though, when their bases were full.
And that ball comes in for strike 1, just hits the right corner of the plate. And I think that going from Shorey to McNeil, the arm slot definitely makes it a little tougher to see the ball out of the glove. And Bushman will pop this one up, and this will end the inning. So runners will be stranded on first and second, but Ensworth chips into the lead, only down 10-5 as we do head towards the top of the 6th inning in this slow mover. Drew Lancaster will be on the mound when we return. Welcome back to Ensworth Live. I'm Max Keller alongside Nate Stein, and we're set for the top of the 6th inning where your Tigers trail 10-5. Father Ryan grounds to Mason Jablonski, and Dax Bramer lets this one by, and this is exactly how last inning went, and now Carson Cobb will run this one in and not make a throw this time. Had the errant throw last time, but our runner already in scoring position just like that. Really tough throw from Jablonski, but honestly,
I think
don't
he was
know
gonna
how
be
you avoid that.
Yeah, I think he was going to be safe anyways. If you're Jablonski, that's probably just a play where the more experience you get down at third, hold on to that ball. Don't risk giving up the extra base. But it would have been close had he gotten a better throw off. I think I'm going to rule that an infield hit and just an advance on the throw.
Yeah, that seems to make sense to me in my head. So now the pitcher, relief pitcher McNeil, played right field, is up to bat with a runner in scoring position. So, like I said, Ensworth did chip into the 10-5 lead, but they have a huge spot here to try to keep it there. And this ball is going to get behind Andrew Yu, so now a runner on third with nobody out.
So not what you want if you're the Tigers. Obviously, runner less than 90 feet from home without an out on the board. Not the start Lancaster wanted either. You got a ground ball, induced it, just throwing it around all over the place.
Lancaster going to try to stick in there and throw strikes. As McNeil also no batting gloves. I don't know if we need an equipment manager for these guys, or, you know, I'm a big look good, play good kind of guy. So to me, to see no batting gloves, it's kind of I think that's pretty painful if you get the wrong part of the bat.
You know, I think retro's coming back, and it's just that old school vibe that more players are trying to kind of bring back into the fold.
Yeah, 2 balls, 1 strike for Lancaster here, and McNeil working, trying to work this hitter's count. Runner on third, and Father Ryan probably still feeling pretty confident after that last 6-run inning to tag along with the 4 runs before that. This one's going to be popped up foul and would be a huge out if Jablonski can get there, and he does get there.
That is huge.
Such a huge out because nothing can advance on that, and now you do have 1 out. So Lancaster just going to continue to throw strikes, and Jablonski immediately makes up for that throw. That really wasn't that bad over at third, but with a spectacular play to cover, and makes the play right in front of his guys in the dugout.
Good job communicating from the dugout to let Jablonski know how much space he did have, what he was working with.
And this pitch will be fouled off by Hinson. And Lancaster starting to settle in up there a little bit. And so Lancaster will pitch the 0-1.
Great pitch on the outside edge. So an 0-2 count now going against Hinson.
So Lancaster looking to throw the payoff pitch here. And this one is swung on and hit. And Reed Bushman will get on his knees and throw to Andrew Yu. And he's safe. Boy, that would have been a really, really bang play. So it went off the glove of Lancaster, went to Bushman, who got on his knees to get that one and decided to go home. That was a split-second decision for Bushman whether he would have gone first to get the out or go home. And honestly, I don't hate that throw home, but it just kind of the awkward timing and positioning of his body makes that a tough throw to get the out.
Yeah, it's just hard hit enough where Bushman looked home and thought he had enough time and really did have enough time. Just a bang play at the plate. Give credit to Derek for hustling.
And this pitch from Lancaster in the dirt, but Yu does a good job to stop the runner from advancing. But now, instead of picking up the second out, another run scores, and you have a runner on first. Now a
double play ball here,
would
though,
end the
which
inning.
is the one silver lining out of that situation.
So only a net gain of 1 run after the Tigers put up 2 last inning, but the Irish respond with 1 here so far. So back to a 6-run ball game after it was 7. This pitch away for ball 2. Lancaster got to get back to the zone. That's what was working here early on in this inning and to end last inning when he got the pop-up on 1 strike. And rolling, the man who started this whole show, swings and misses big time at a pitch from Lancaster. That one came in slower than Rolling anticipated. And this one in the dirt, and the runner will go, and Andrew Yu will throw a beautiful ball, but that one Conor Cobb couldn't get into the glove.
Yeah, it's a nice ball, skipped down in there, but Hinson able to just slide in ahead of the tag and wouldn't have made a difference either. Cobb couldn't hold on to it.
So 3-1, hitters count for Roland. And a righty-lefty matchup. Danger at the plate. Lancaster throws, and this one's going to be in the dirt for ball 4. So with 1 out, now you have 2 base runners for Father Ryan, and they've done damage with their base runners, bringing up Brown, who, did he play a role in some of these runs last time?
Yeah, Brown's got an RBI double from the 5th inning, last inning.
Yeah, that was the
back-to-back doubles.
Did he start the circuit?
Yeah.
Or was the...
So Grogan was the first batter, and he reached on the air. Then you had the double KK, walk, double, single, double.
Yeah.
And then finally the out of Grogan to get out of that inning.
And this one is driven into left field, and Mckinley got a late start on it, but reaches the glove up and honestly makes a great play in terms of where you ended up being position-wise.
Yeah, it's best-case scenario that he was able to stab at that one. That's 2 more runs if it gets over his head and runs out to the wall.
Yeah, that's a huge catch from McKinley, and that'll bring up Emerson.
Huge catch on a very hard-hit ball. Brown put a charge into that one. If he had maybe a higher angle into the air, that ball might have left the yard.
Could have joined Bramers.
Yeah.
So now still a runner in scoring position and a runner on first with 2 out, but Lancaster is 1 out away from escaping this inning. Lancaster 1-0 pitch, goes right in there for strike 1. Honestly, a very hittable pitch there for Emerson, just didn't see it.
Yeah, I think Emerson was probably looking for the fastball. Something off-speed just froze him, even though it was right down the heart. Probably a really great pitch to hit. Wasn't looking for it.
And Father Ryan's bench starting to make some, and this time Jablonski will just get the force out at 3. That time,
play.
Yeah, really smart play on getting the out at 3, but not only that, he did a good job of getting that one on his shoulder. That was what he was unable to do last time.
Yeah, able to get his body more in front of it. Still wasn't the cleanest play, and honestly, that probably forced him to go over to third base instead of trying to throw across the diamond, but also just a smarter play, shorter distance to cover there. Just take a few steps, beat the runner.
And so after allowing 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th, McNeil will be back out onto the mound for the top of the 7th, where Ensworth trails 11-5 when we return from break.
Welcome back to Ensworth Live. Nate Stein here with you alongside Max Keller. Top of the lineup for the Tigers as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Tigers trailing by 6, have their work cut out from them, but it's the top of the order. Devin Obie looking for his first hit of the night. Trying to break out of a bit of a mini slump that we've seen him in these past couple weeks.
And I did make the mistake. It is the bottom of the 6th, so don't get your food ready just quite yet as we have more game to play. Obie swings and misses at that pitch, and so he's down 0-1 after striking out his every at-bat this game?
2 out of 3. Flew out
3.
to center back in the 4th.
Fly out to center. This nasty curveball, I don't really know where that missed. I thought that was right down the heart.
Maybe broke a little too late and didn't quite catch the inner half of the zone, but it looked really freaking good from up here.
Maybe even surprised the umpire there. That had a weird kind of path that it was on. And this pitch comes in and nearly hits Obie, but also could be at strike at the same time based on the way that Obie is crowding the plate.
And based on the way that late movement comes in.
So 2-1 for Obie. A hitter's count is all he needs sometimes. And this one comes in slow, and Obie just out in front of it to foul it back for 2-2.
And after taking those 2 pitches inside, that last one looked a little bit more comfortable from Obi. Got a piece of it. We'll see if he's starting to hone in on McNeil's sidearm delivery.
Ensworth needing to make up 6 runs to tie. And this pitch outside of the strike zone for a full count. And Obi has to be really selective here, as any base runners will be helpful and can't strike out or really afford to start this out with an inning.
On a more
inning
positive note, this is the deepest into a count we've seen Obi go, working the count a little bit more. And this one is going to be gone. It's got to be.
No, it's going to be a pop out.
Really?
Wow, that had a great jump off of the bat, and it just must have hit a wind front up there.
There must be more wind up high than we thought there was, because that ball looked like it was hit harder than Dax Bramers and hit higher than Dax Bramers. I thought that thing was going to be long gone, but a long, flashy out from Devin Obi brings up Yu, who also looking for his first hit of the night.
So Andrew Yu, who's had a couple of hard hit balls, he's trying to join the home run club, as this one is fouled up and in play if Derek can get there, and it will bounce off of the net and be dead.
Yeah, dead ball off the top of the netting.
Yeah, there was a controversial play the other day where Buster Posey got to the wall in the back left corner of this kind of back circle, and he caught the ball and then kind of touched the net, and they didn't really know if he used the net or you can't use the net at all, but kind of interesting. But if you did not know.
Let me ask you, I didn't see this play happen. Did they go to video review?
They did go to review. They did say that he used the net and did not count the out, even though if you really watch it, I think the ball's in his glove, but it just ended up where he kind of leaned against the net enough where the umpires felt that he had used it, and that's just a nasty breaking ball. Again, not really sure where that's missing, to be honest with you.
I think it's a matter of
where
the movement being a little too late, which you never think you'd have that kind of problem. Obviously, late break is a great thing to have if you're a pitcher, but McNeil not getting the benefit of the doubt as this one goes well outside the zone.
So 2-1 count. Both of these teams just so well coached. High praise from Coach Maxwell when it comes to this Father Ryan coaching staff and Mike Mascari. But Coach Maxwell today did get selected to be the Team USA 18-year-old baseball team coach. So congratulations to him, as Andrew Yu sends this one for a single to center field. Hard hit ball that finally gets down. Some satisfaction for Yu.
Yeah, Yu was just smashing the ball all over the place, but just getting it too high into the air. We saw those 2 to kind of right center earlier in the game that almost took him to the warning track. Probably balls hit 360. But just to the deepest part of the park, that time a flatter plane and just a line drive smashed back up the middle for Yu's first hit of the night. McKinley, last week's hero, is going to try to extend this game, or this inning rather.
Yeah, bottom 6,
yeah,
11-5. You got 2 innings, including this inning, and you got 1 out. You're down by 6, and you just got to get the bats rolling. If Father Ryan, the mentality has to be if Father Ryan can put 6 up in the top of the 5th, you can put 6 up in 1 inning or 2 innings of work here. And McKinley sends this one flying to the third baseline, and that would have been foul if anyways, but I guess with a little bit of a... Is that how that works, Nate? If it's a toe tap action, you keep yourself from going foul, and you
no, it's all a matter of where the ball is. It's where the ball crosses over the invisible line that is perpendicular along the bag to foul territory. So you fielded that one in foul territory. Doesn't matter that the ball had not touched the ground yet. It's not like basketball in that sense.
And a good eye there.
More like soccer, I guess, would be the way to put it, where even if the ball doesn't touch the ground out of bounds, if it crosses out of bounds, and even if it's curling back in, it'll be...
Yeah, out. Yeah. That makes sense now. Look at that. Nate Stein providing color commentary, sometimes doing the play-by-play, and like Gene Steratore, he's our rules analyst up here. 1-2 count, 1 out. McKinley working here. He's got to protect the plate here, and McNeil threw a pretty good pitch there with two strikes, and McKinley had to think about that one, but it'll be a 2-2 count. McNeil has come into the game with some nasty breaking balls and done a pretty good job. He allowed 2 runs, or actually, I think those runs were led up by the stolen base there by Wainwright, who pinch hit for
Didn't matter.
Andrew.
It was ball 4.
Yeah, ball 4, but
so even if he
that's
was
not a stolen base then, I guess.
Yeah,
for
even if
Wainwright.
he was out. And that was kind of a weird reaction by the ump crew to let that kind of play out and let that ball get thrown down to second and make the safe call. But regardless, runners on first and second now for Bramer, who homered in his last at-bat. Took one deep to the left center gap right over the 365 sign.
Boy, would he love to repeat that here.
That'd be huge in this situation.
And he wanted to swing like he was going to do it.
Yeah, it's a good cut, though. That pitch is over the outer half, but right at about letter height. We got Hunter Harris warming up in the bullpen for the Tigers. We might see him come out for the 7th if this inning continues on.
We got to see him for the first time on Ensworth Live's broadcast last Thursday. And Wainwright gets hit with that ball, and
he's out. He made that catch.
No, I think he's safe. I think he was just calling time. I think the umpire was calling time.
That was weird. He held one hand up. It looked like his fist was closed. It looked like the shortstop Porter made the catch, too, and the ball was right on his body. That was very close.
I think I saw that one all the way into the rib cage of Wainwright, and Porter couldn't get his glove around. As this one is hit into right field and will be a little bit of a tricky play, but fielded. But this will advance Parker Wainwright from second to third, but that will pick up the second out of the inning. So Jablonski in a pressure situation.
So another hard hit ball from Bramer, but this one just into right field where it will be handled by O'Connell. Jablonski doubled his last at-bat, has scored 2 runs on the day. So a big part of the offense is the third baseman, Jablonski. An opportunity where a base hit scores a run, extends the inning. It just provides that much hope. The more you can get done here, the less work there is to do in the 7th. Although, with the way the light's fading, we might not make it to the bottom of the 7th unless we get a real quick top of the 7th from whoever the pitcher is going to be, whether it's going to be Lancaster or Harris.
Yeah, that pitch hits the outside zone. It'll be interesting to see kind of how the game moves forward if we have game left. Really, really interesting. I do think that this will be pushed until there is no sunlight. Mason Jablonski will pop out, and if this lands, no, it won't land. And it will. That'll
got out of his glove.
That'll drop in his glove, and
run scores.
That'll be a run. And so, wow, that is a
that
huge.
Thing just jumped out of the glove.
It was at the end of his glove.
So safe at first. That'll be an error. A run's going to score, though. So first and third still 11-6 now. Yeah, almost got it right on the edge, but heads up base running by McKinley, making it over to third as well. And you not worrying about what's happening. And I think we're getting a rules clarification. I think Father Ryan is going to try to argue that it was on the transfer and that the catch was already completed. So we'll see what gets ruled here after this conversation on the infield. But if it stays as is.
Yeah, I'm not loving that. I mean, I really did see the ball seeping out. I like that they stayed with it.
Yeah, no change. So still runners on the hot corner. Another run is in as Jablonski picks up an RBI here.
Up to bat, number 20, Carson Cobb.
So Cobb now 2 for 3 on the day with a pair of RBIs, a single and a double.
And with Ensworth down 5, a really well-hit ball could do damage here.
Absolutely. We'll see. Shifted up the middle on the infield a little bit. So Cobb has a pretty big gap through the right side if he can take something the opposite field.
So 0-1 count for Carson Cobb, who took opposite field last time he was up to bat for a double. And that was a breaking ball, and it really seems that it's really seems by the Tigers' reactions to these pitches that it's really hard to see that out of the hand with such late break from McNeil on the mound that Carson Cobb was just early on that.
Late break, and I'm sure dusk isn't helping. It's going to get harder and harder to see that ball.
And so now 0-2 count. This is a pitcher's dream for somebody with the off-speed that McNeil has. This one low and outside. Good take from Carson Cobb, who will take that every time. Runners on the hot corners. 2 out. Ensworth down 11-6, bottom 6th inning. Carson Cobb in a huge spot here. And Carson Cobb strikes out with a hefty swing. And we will see who comes out on the mound for Ensworth. It's going to be Hunter Harris when we return after this short break. Welcome back to Ensworth Live. If your stomach is aching, mine is too. We are heading deep into this ball game. It's about 6:45, I think.
6:50.
6:50.
Local time.
Local time. Yeah, if you're tuning in Hawaii, I believe that it is. That's a calculation I don't want to do right now.
I think it's 11:50 a.m.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. But
so, aloha to our viewers
aloha
in Hawaii.
Good morning.
And you're just about to grab lunch over there. So, Hunter Harris will be on the mound. Ensworth is down 11-6 due to a 3-inning stretch from Father Ryan where they put up 4, 6, and 1. And they're looking to continue the run streak here. And Hunter Harris has that bizarre arm release that we saw last Thursday that kind of comes in hot and with a little bit of maybe less sidearm, but it's almost as if his arm doesn't bend as much. Really just slings it.
Yeah, straight arm pitcher, almost like you were watching curling here, although more out to the side, maybe at that 10 o'clock slot rather than more over the top at 12 or even down low at 8:30, 9 o'clock that we've seen from McNeil.
Wow,
and
what
that one.
That is such a wow, that is a good hit, and that ball's going to get all the way. And Carson Cobb that's an underrated throw. He was at the fence over there at 300 and got it all the way to make it a close play at second. And Hunter Harris threw two good pitches, and I think all of that result of that hit right there was timing.
Yeah, that's just unlucky. That's a lucky, I don't want to say a lucky hit, but
right.
It's a protection swing. It's a safety swing. Just kind of tried to throw his bat out there, and That's what we saw.
Right.
That's all you can say.
I mean, it was in perfect spot. Bramer couldn't get there even on the dive.
Yeah.
So nobody out and a runner in scoring position. This is exactly how Father Ryan has done it all game.
Father Ryan has scored their first batter of the inning each of the past 3 innings. They've gotten it done early. They're not making rallies with 2 outs, although that rally in the 5th inning was mostly with 2 outs. They're getting it done early for the most part. That 4-run inning, same thing.
And Harris gets this one whacked into outfield, and this will hit the gap and easily score a run, and this will likely be 3. It'll be 3. He's moving around the bases. Goodness. And that's going to be an easy stand-up triple for Porter.
The leadoff man having himself a day.
And there they go. Father Ryan keeps the streak alive. And that will be from the 4th inning to the 7th inning. Father Ryan has scored at least 1 run.
Yeah, and they've scored their first batter of each inning for the past 4. So that's how you win games right there. It's consistent. They're not doing too much. Obviously, you got a double and a triple there, but for the most part, it's just been a lot of singles and doubles.
And this is a hitter's dream. A lot of at-bats for the Father Ryan lineup. And Gogan with what appearance is this for Gogan at the plate?
5th, yes.
5th appearance.
We're at our 5th time through the lineup for these guys. You rarely see that, especially in a 7-inning high school game.
Maybe you see it in a
extra
really,
innings MLB
extra
game
innings or a high-scoring
MLB
game, let alone 7 innings. But I guess when you scored the ball 12 times.
Yeah.
1-1 count for Harris in relief here. Runner on third, nobody out, and Ensborough trailing by 6. And this one hit onto the ground, and Conor Cobb will have the opportunity to show us something that we have not even seen before. Boy, if Conor had made that play, you might as well send him to AAA right away. But that one, just a really good timed hit, and that'll score another run and be an infield single. So Father Ryan.
RBI from Gogan.
Got 13-6, bringing up the catcher, Derek.
Derek has reached and scored 3 times, a single, a double, and then reaching on an error back in the 4th.
And Father Ryan's bench is into it now. And Andrew Yu gets that one that was really hot into the ground. Really good stop behind the plate for Yu. And this one hit to short. Conor will do this himself. Oh, and he got it. He got him. Wow, Conor Cobb stepped on second, jumped over the feet of Bushman, who nearly got in his way, and midair made a throw to Bramer, who made the athletic stretch. That is a beautiful infield play, and all of a sudden, we have 2 out.
Yeah, 6-3 double play. Almost unassisted double play. Cobb doing the front end on his own, fielding it, running towards second, stepping on the bag, and making a bit of a wild throw. Rushed it a little bit, but a good pick by Bramer.
Yeah, and Derek didn't think it was out there. It took a minute to get back to the dugout. I don't blame him. That was a very, very close play, but I think Bramer just got the glove on it before his foot came off.
Yeah, I think he might have even had his foot come off, picked it, and then just brought his heel back on right before.
I wasn't sure which one caused the out.
One or the other, but he just barely got in there in time. That's a great pick and a great play overall from Bramer.
So 2-0 count, 2 out. McNeil at the plate. And this one runs up and in.
3-0 now. Harris trying to get out of this inning.
3 balls, no strikes. And Harris throws a wheelhouse pitch down the middle. 3-1 count, and Father Ryan with an iPhone combination on the scoreboard, 4-6-1-2 in the last innings, and Carson Cobb will call this one and casually get over there and end the inning. And Ensworth will have to score 7 to tie and 8 to win, and we don't really have much sunlight or daylight, so
No,
unless we're going to load the bases and hit a home run and then load them again.
I think what happens if you run out of time, you can call it because they finished 5 innings. But I think that would also partially go up to the coaches where they might have the opportunity, if Ensworth does start to make a comeback, they might have the opportunity to finish this game maybe tomorrow and play it as part of a doubleheader or a partial doubleheader. I'm not sure how the rules work. I know in Colorado high school softball, which is what I was used to from my old job, I know that we had situations where they ran out of light and the game had to be finished the following day as a part of the series. It's just a matter of the TSSAA ruling, the umpires ruling, and what the coaches decide. And that's all assuming that the Tigers do get into a situation where they extend this game long enough to where the sun does go all the way down and the Tigers or still have an opportunity to continue some sort of comeback. Yeah, a lot riding on that, but it'll be an interesting scenario if all of these hypotheticals do somehow line up.
I'm trying to reach back into the deep archives of the Max Keller brain, and I don't know if from freshman year, I can't really remember the scenarios, how we had to end games, if it was kind of after, who knows, but I do not remember us ever kind of finishing a game. So we'll see how this one goes out. But
regardless, McNeil will be looking to make that a non-factor and make all of our conversation just pure conjecture.
Well, he's done a great job. I mean,
he has. I mean, looking at his stats since he came in, he's hit one batter, given up a single, walked a batter. A man reached on an error. So he's been really clean. Obviously a little squirrely with the hit batter, but even that one barely skimmed Cobb when he had a 1-2 count. So it was even in a pitcher's count that he gave that one up and just lost it a little bit. Conor Cobb will be the one to lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th. The last hope for the Tigers. Final frame. We'll see if Cobb can make something happen.
And Conor Cobb fouls this one back.
First pitch swinging. The Tigers had some success when they were being aggressive the last couple innings, putting up 3 of their 6 runs over the last 2. They'll need to do a lot more than that to extend this game.
And this pitch swung on and missed, so quickly 2 strikes to start the bottom of the 7th here. Conor Cobb didn't see that one.
All right, Sam, here we go now.
Pitch high and outside. Ball 1, 1-2 count.
McNeil working quickly.
Yeah.
I think he wants to go home. Long game already as we cross the 7 o'clock time. I know that's not too late for a lot of MLB fans out there who are maybe even Red Sox Yankees fans used to watching those games go 6-7 hours well past the midnight hour. Well, but when you don't have lights on the field and you start at 4:30, 7 o'clock feels a little bit later.
I mean, if you're a Dodgers fan in Nashville, you don't sleep. That's because that pitch hits the outside corner for the strikeout. I think this umpire might also want to go home.
Yeah. Wants to go see his family. But it'll be the DH, Dylan Hudson, stepping up.
Dylan Hudson.
Hudson 1 for 3 on the day. Got an RBI single early on in this game, part of that first grouping of runs scored by the Tigers.
And Hudson grounds this one to third, and that will be quickly 2 outs. And a really good stretch at first base. Bringing up the 9-hole hitter, Reed Bushman, with 2 out, down by 7.
2 out, nobody on. Bushman, the senior.
Up to bat, number 3, Reed Bushman.
It'll come down to him. If he can get aboard, it'll bring us back to the top of the lineup, and Obi will get his 5th crack at things. But Bushman, the last guaranteed batter for the Tigers.
First pitch low and outside. And Mason, I don't know why I'm calling him Mason. I think his name's Matthew Derrick, and I'm pretty sure on that. Yeah, it's in there, down there on the yeah, there it is, Matthew Derrick on the lower screen. Familiar with the family there. Reed Bushman grounds to third, and that'll be your ball game. Ensworth falls victim to a hot Father Ryan team after the third inning. Ensworth scored 3 in the bottom of the second, and ever since then they just got outscored. Father Ryan with 4, 6, 1, and 2 to end the game, and Ensworth put up 3 runs that really didn't mean much at that point.
Yeah, we got a little bit excited early on in this game with the Tigers getting a few early runs, something we haven't seen them do, jump out to an early lead, but just faltered down the stretch. The bullpen couldn't keep up, and Father Ryan started stringing some hits together, 2 big innings, and that was pretty much the nail in the coffin.
Well, we always appreciate you tuning in to Ensworth Live. Once again, I'm Max Keller alongside Nate Stein. We hope you have a great evening.